Hey, Financial Compass family. Just wanted to jump in here, hoping that you again are staying healthy. Hopefully you're doing some kind of exercising as well. And depending on your uh, physical abilities or inabilities, be very careful. If you'd like some pointers on what you can do at home, get your heart rate up just a little bit, some mobility, and some stretches and exercises, let me know. Respond to this email. I'll send you a video of some exercises you can do at home. But hey, I just want to take a moment, pulled it out of the closet. This may be backwards depending on the view of the camera. It says I'm a free market kind of guy. I want to talk to you briefly about how economics impacts your portfolio and how we use economics as a filter, a lens to look through with this season and coming out of this season. So we'll start real basic. Call it Economics 101. Okay, economics is really good to know and to learn, especially when it comes to your wealth and your financial well-being. The basic law that drives the markets and the economy is supply and demand. And I'll give you an example. When there is a ton of supply, just easy to get to, there's more than enough, then prices go down because there's not a big demand for it. But when the supply starts to go down and demand increases, that drives prices up. I'll give you a great example. The vinyl record versus the CD. The CD, the audio CD, came on the scene around 1986. And in just a few handfuls, maybe some classics and some new releases in 1986, and that CD back in 1986 was $15, $20 because the supply was low and demand was high because it was new, prices were high. What happened to the vinyl? Well, after a couple of years, vinyls were like 99 cents. You saw them at garage stores or garage sales, 99 cents. Why? Because people had a ton of them, but the demand wasn't high. So supply was up, demand was down, prices were down. What does this mean? Well, right now, in a short period of time, when investors, some investors or many investors, not you guys, when they are fearful and emotional and they sell, the market, okay, is flooded with all of these shares for sale. I want to sell this, I want to sell this, and everyone's selling. That brings the demand down and it brings the prices down. This is short term. Over the last few days, you've seen some positive movements in the market. And while that's encouraging, okay, we're not just going to bank on that yet. Okay, still kind of temporarily in the downside because of emotional investors. There's still plenty of supply. What happens is once we start getting out of our houses and disciplined investors like yourself, we start buying more, then all of a sudden the buy orders I want to buy outweigh or outpace the sell orders, and that's when you see prices go up, and that moves us out of this downward season that we see ourselves in. And as I mentioned in the last video, again, this is temporary. So this is all part of it, including recession, as I mentioned last time. That if we are in a recession, probably so. But again, it takes 6 months. Don't worry about it. It's a normal economic cycle, and the free markets will pull us out of here. We will go back to business as usual. And business as usual, okay, let me correct myself. There's changes, of course, in how companies do business, how we work remotely, and maybe some new technologies will come from that. So I think we'll see a new normal. But when we get back to life, okay, then people start buying more, confidence is up again. And again, we have about 3 up years for every 1 down year. And there's your economics lesson 101. And in a few days, we'll come back with just a little nugget again, economics 102.